Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Welcome to Anarchy Brewery. Now like a little midweek pintsies to celebrate just getting through the quarter-final. We have got the quarter-final draw coming up for you this evening. We're going to go through the bowl numbers in just a minute of the potential teams that Newcastle United could face in the next round of the FA Cup. Hopefully, a home draw would be nice, wouldn't it? For a change. 3 games so far in the FA Cup this season, 3 away ties. Haven't conceded. Oh, yes, we did concede last night. That's wrong. It was conceded last night. Didn't concede the first 2 against Sunderland and Fulham. So that was good. Seems a long time ago, that derby.
Didn't we have a home tie in the Carabao Cup? We didn't, did we? It was away to...
we did. We had City. We had City at the start. Beat City.
At home?
Then went to Man U away. And then Chelsea away, wasn't it?
I thought City was away for some reason.
Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear us all right, say us all right. Again, thank you to Anarchy Brew for hosting the podcast. As always, you can scan that QR code on your screen, treat yourself to some beautiful beers. But more importantly, this weekend, we're talking about the event they've got on here on the Saturday and Sunday this week. You like some scran day? Like some nice beer day? Whoa. There you go. Perfect stuff. I'll probably be here. We might be here on the Saturday night after the Wolves game. So they're going to have food vendors on. A good few hot food vendors, live music. It's on till late, and best of all, free entry. So get yourselves along to Anarchy Brewery this weekend. Should be a belter.
Tell you what it is. It's not even just because of them letting we use the facilities and have these lovely drinks.
Great, isn't it?
Really, really is. Not even just to push it up their arse, but what's this? I've got the cheat code.
You got the cheat code.
That is one of the nicest beers I've ever had.
I've threw my can away.
And after what was it? The Blind Faith. After the Blind Faith, I didn't think it could get much better.
Gets better.
But it does. They're absolutely sensational. Yeah, I fucking
loves it. Right then. So before we do get into the FA Cup draw, and we'll talk about who we want, who we think we're going to get, make sure you do that in the comments below as well. Man City away. Let's just quickly recap, not spend too much long on it because it wasn't the best of games. Obviously, the bonuses were through. It's cup football. Did the job. But my God, that was... my God, that was not pretty last night, was it, Keg?
It was absolutely lifting.
I
can't consider it a win. At the end of the day...
Well, it wasn't. It was a draw.
Well, exactly. It wasn't a win. At the end of the day, the aim in cup football is just to get through to the next round. So we went into there knowing that a win gets you into the quarterfinals. Are we in the quarterfinals? Yes, we are.
Just about.
Happy days.
Lovely.
Job done. But I was shit. It was absolutely shocking. I know, you want to win. It's the cup, the magic of the cup. Anything can happen. Anyone can beat anyone. Doesn't matter what league you're in or league form, whatever. It all goes out the window in the cup. But you always want to play well. And if a Premier League team gets put out by a lower league team, if it was Liverpool, for example, if they got put out by, fucking Blackburn, you think, they must have rotated the team. Sometimes that happens, but we had a really strong team, probably as strong as it could be, against 17th placed championship team, closer to the relegation zone, closer to League One than the Premier League. And we couldn't beat them in 90 minutes, and we couldn't beat them in 120 minutes.
Nope.
It was just quite embarrassing. I mean, it was a brilliant game. I think if you were a neutral, it was a fantastic game because there was chances at both ends. Both keepers had a really good game. Their goalkeeper was phenomenal, to be fair. Yeah, Dubravka had a class game, not just the penalty shootout, but both keepers were tremendous. Both teams went for it. Fair play to Blackburn, credit to Blackburn, give them their plaudits. They deserved to take it to at least penalties, potentially even win it. But from a Newcastle perspective, we've got to be better than that, man. It's worrying times. I couldn't even beat a team at the bottom end, at 17th in the Championship. Struggled to beat teams around 17th in the Premier League, Luton's, Bournemouth's, Forest's. Worrying times.
It is worrying, and I am worried because when you seen that lineup last night, as you just touched on, I thought, that's 3-4-1 here.
Yeah, I expected a little bit more rotation. I know Botman couldn't start because he was injured. I was surprised to see
rested, apparently he wasn't even injured. Anyhow, just said he's rested. He should be back on the weekend.
Well, that's one rotation.
5 changes were made.
Murphy started, whereas it could have been Almiron or Barnes. Dubravka just came back. I wouldn't really say that's a change. But I wouldn't have started Dubravka. Looking back on it now, before the game, I wouldn't have started Dubravka because of his illness. Even if he was back, I'm pleased that he did, obviously, because he was fucking class. But I'd have given that time. Karius could have done a good job against Blackburn. You would have thought. Things might have panned out differently. But
after conceding 4 against Arsenal, he didn't really do bad though. To be fair.
No,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean, it was the defense and everything.
That's what I mean. Like, so I can look on it now and say, oh yeah, we made the right choice in starting Dubravka because he was fucking class. But when the lineup was announced, I was surprised. I was like, even if he's back, why bother? Like, just let him have another few days. Start him on Saturday, absolutely. But for Blackburn, Karius could do a job. But yeah, I was quite surprised at how strong Eddie went. I thought that would have been more rotation. I know you say that was 5 changes, but it was still a strong team. Like, it's a lot stronger than I expected. So.
Especially Joe Willock coming in. Only played half an hour of football in a few months.
Yeah,
comes in from the off.
I was quite happy with that one. I think because it's good that more people are getting back. Like that's a good thing. Like Elliot Anderson as well. Like more people on the bench. What squad's looking stronger now? We're like having more and more people come back. And I think like Miley, only 17 years old, he's played a lot of games this season. So
many.
I wasn't surprised to see that one, although like Willock has just come back from injury, so it's a bit touch and go. Maybe you continue with Miley because he's been playing a lot. Like his legs will be ready to go, whereas Willock's you never know. But no, I was happy to see that one. I think Miley deserved a break. Like I wouldn't class it as dropping him. It was more of like rest and rotation. So, but it's a good thing. Like the more and more people that you have back, I think the better the squad looks, and it is a squad. Like I always say, like you win now with 11 players. No. It's got to be a squad. It's got to be a team effort. So yeah, the more and more people that can come back and push for starting spots, give Eddie a pleasant headache, like squad depth. Yeah, all for it.
I think we actually look better going forward once we took Isak off, to be honest with you, because you can just see he is nowhere near. Arsenal, it was embarrassing. He looked about 13% fit. Like that phone was dying. That needed an immediate charge, fast charge, power bank.
But he's another one who I think just because we've got no strikers, which we've touched on many a time, we should have signed a fucking striker.
Forced to play when he shouldn't be.
In the summer and in January, 2 transfer windows have gone by where we haven't signed a third striker, where we've always needed one. So still annoyed at that, but I do think Isak started the last 2 games because there's no one else, because Wilson's not there. Like, I don't think he's fit at all. But it's like, do you start a unfit striker or do you start Gordon? Or
well, Gordon obviously scored when he went down the middle. I thought Almiron looked good as well when he came off the bench. To be honest,
yeah.
And he deserved to be dropped though, so it was the right decision.
Yeah, we've spoke about Almiron many a time. Like whether we'll like him, should he be dropped? Is he good enough? Is he this? Is he that? Should we sell him? Like I think I said in episode 1 or 2. I wouldn't sell him because he is a good player and he works hard and blah, blah, blah. He's a brilliant squad player. For me, I'd love to see him replaced. I think signing an actual right winger to replace him in the starting 11, we should do, because I don't like him that much. But as a squad player, I'd keep him. I wouldn't sell him at all. But like he's got that energy. Like he has got a lot of energy and he works hard. So I think he is that kind of bring off the bench type player. Like last 10, 15 minutes, if you're chasing the game, you know he's going to fight for every ball, and he's got pace and he's got energy. So, yeah, I think he came and done what he should be doing for Newcastle, really. I
like him. Like you said, as a squad player off the bench, that's fine. It's just when he's starting week in, week out, and when he hasn't got anyone pushing him either, I think you can see that he comes off the gas.
I think we likened him to him probably about 3 years ago, but I think it's reminded us even more so now. He's just like a faster Jose Perez.
Yeah, like the same product.
Yeah,
Jose was alright at times, although he did go through patches like Almiron does.
He went through purple patches just like Almiron does. Like, is he starting 11 quality? No, but he starts every week because there's no one else. Like, he's just fucking Perez 2.0.
Jose Almiron.
Yeah, he's just got a bit more pace about him, like that, like for like.
But last night, listen, it is worrying. I want to say as well, like, where's the intensity gone? The intensity is our identity. We've lost our identity. Can't find the passport. Do you know what I mean? What's happening to that? What's happening with the identity? That is how it went on about, because no matter who comes in, and these players that come back from injury and stuff, we look to shadow ourselves. Last night for me, the most worrying thing was the lack of being able to just pick out a pass. It was like Southgate last night for me. It was a lot of sideways passing. There wasn't much movement. Yes, Blackburn were good. They were organised. They were very disciplined. Very good, so they made it hard for us. But the lack of ideas from us in between the lines or getting out wide was scary. I just thought was so bad, especially the first hour. And then even though you do take the lead, we can't see it out. It's just the defending, man. Jamal Lascelles is obviously had a mistake for the goal.
Yeah, poor. Absolutely poor. I don't know. Something's got to give. Like, obviously,
something's got to give.
I'm not a manager. I don't know what it is, but it is just frustrating to watch. Like say midfield, we are a bit void, passing's a bit nah. I feel like the defending from last season, like absolutely solid, went through however many games it was without even conceding a goal. Like now, like while leaking them 4 against Luton, still conceding a championship opposition. Like I don't know what it is. I kind of put my finger on what's going on, but I think it is worrying. Like say, like drawing to the likes of Luton and Blackburn. Blackburn, which was a draw. Bournemouth, like we lost to Nottingham Forest. That was before Christmas. Won in January, but it's just not good enough, man. It's just frustrating.
One positive is that we obviously shown the character to get through that game. We won on pens, which is a nice change. You know, you always fear the worst. I don't know if it's being an England fan and a Newcastle fan. We've got the worst of both worlds there. Basically, you never win penalty shoutouts. I mean, I was at Stamford Bridge in the Carabao Cup a couple of months ago. Seen we get knocked out. But I've got to big up Elliot Anderson for coming on. It's good to see him back, and he slotted one away. Some cojones on him. That was the first time he kicked the ball in months. To be fair.
Literally. Must be this season. Was he not injured in pre-season?
No, he was injured in October, I think, wasn't it?
Was it?
Because he played in the Champions League, didn't he? Did he not play in the Champions League? I'm sure he did.
I might have done. I can't remember.
But
it feels like he's been out for that long.
Well, it's been a long season, hasn't it? It's been a slog. But then you see us showing that character, get through the penalty shootout. You've seen how much the players loved it as well. There's been some great photos of them after the game. You've seen Bruno jumping in the crowd, and you've seen that, and he was singing along to our intro. You know, we'll follow United and that. So United, the passion's there. It's just it wasn't clicking on the pitch. But again, at least we're through. We're here to do the quarter-final draw. That's obviously a plus. But for once, will we get a kind draw? Let us know in the comments. There's nearly 500 people watching. Please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. I'll see who I think we're going to get and who I want to get.
It is a hard draw, though, to be fair. Like, there's not many... There's no easy games. It's the quarterfinal. Like there is. You look at there's 3 championship teams in there. Yeah, Leeds, Southamptons, and Coventry's. So obviously,
Southampton are about to get knocked out on the night of Liverpool. You'd have thought.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but
you never know though.
And Leeds have got Chelsea as well. So
I actually fancy Leeds, me. With the way Potter's going and the animosity around him, the toxic.
But if the obvious wins, then you've got Chelsea or Leicester. Leicester's a championship team. So you got Chelsea.
Chowdhury was playing last night.
Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, Man United, Brighton, Coventry City. Apart from Coventry, there's not really any favourable teams there. Even Brighton, Leicester. Yeah,
I'd take Leicester. I'd take Chelsea. No, Chelsea or Leeds. As long as it's home, it has to be at home. For once, can we get a home draw? Obviously, they are at Stamford Bridge. We've got it on now. We're about less than 10 minutes away from the draw taking place before this Chelsea v Leeds game. So the ball numbers are as follows. Number 1, Newcastle United.
Number 1.
Numero uno.
Can't forget that one. I always forget. Anytime I watch a cup draw, I'm like, who's this? Can't remember.
Chelsea or Leeds, number 2. Leicester City, 3. Liverpool or Southampton, 4. Forest or Man United, 6. Forest or Man United, 5th. Sorry, Forest Man United is ball number 5. They also play tonight. City ground. That's a tough game for Man United, to be fair.
It is, yeah.
I think Forest can knock them out.
FA Cup, baby.
FA Cup, baby. Wolves or Brighton is ball number 6. And then Coventry City, the low runners, the underdogs.
1 and 7.
The smashed Maidstone on Monday night. And then 8 is Manchester City. So obviously the ball we want to avoid is number 8. We do not want to see that. Honestly, I'll take anyone but them. Obviously City or Liverpool away, good. Nah. But if it's a home draw against Liverpool and they've got a lot going on, they've just won the Carabao, they're in Europe still, they're pushing for the title, it wouldn't be the worst. City away, obviously by far the worst for me. I think honestly if we could get a Leicester at home or away, but anyone at home, try and avoid City. I think we've got a chance. Then it's 1 game until Wembley.
Yeah, all right, but we're getting there. I wish it wasn't, but we're not going to get into that right now. But oh, Jesus Christ!
Karate kick there from about the 70s. Navy, all about it.
So we've just been watching some old school games here from the 70s or something on ITV before the cup draws. Just seen an absolute karate kick to the head. Lovely stuff. Love that. Love the good old football. Back in the day when they weren't fannies, but
I'm gonna say I'm feeling that we're gonna get Chelsea or Leeds. That's what I'm gonna be hoping it's Leeds.
Chelsea or Leeds. Ooh.
I think we'll get Chelsea or Leeds. Everyone's obviously saying Man City on Twitter and stuff because of the draws have had this season, the group of death and the Carabao Cup run and everything else. Absolutely horrendous. But I am gonna say for some reason, I'm getting drawn towards Chelsea or Leeds. What's your guess, Kegan? Get your guesses in the comments.
I really don't know. I really wouldn't be surprised if it is City. I think that's what everybody's saying. But I don't know. I think City's just screaming out to me. Like, I'm just not surprised. I don't even know if that's because that's like me. Worst case scenario, even with their rotation, like they can rotate. Like it doesn't fucking matter who Chelsea put out. Like they can beat anyone on that day. Again, it depends who wins tonight. Like hopefully there's some upsets. If Leeds can beat Chelsea,
Great.
Southampton beat Liverpool, Forest beat United.
I wouldn't even say Forest or Leeds winning would be more so Forest.
Yeah.
Because Forest have beat Man U already this season.
Yeah.
So I think Forest could easily beat Man United at home. I really do. And I think Leeds, who are flying high in the Championship at the minute, going to Chelsea where everyone's wanting Poch out. That was a pathetic performance in their cup final the other day. Honestly, I think Leeds could win the night at Stamford Bridge. And that would be a tasty quarter-final, man. Newcastle v Leeds. It's our derby.
That would be nice.
I mean, another derby in the cup at Sunderland.
Yeah.
Close enough to Leeds.
Even away, like I've never actually even been at Ellen Road. Like when they got first promoted, I said I want to go to Leeds away, and they had 2 years in the in the Premier League.
What's your face there with that light? You mean puppet shadows over my face?
Even like away, like Leeds would be decent, but at home that would be a nice draw.
Be very nice, and it's obviously going to be on the weekend as well of the 16th of March, I think it is, where we were due to play Crystal Palace away. So now that's been moved. There's like Leeds' lineup tonight. They've made quite a few changes, haven't they? The Somervilles, Nottos, Patrick Bamford's on the bench. So
there is a lot of changes there.
They've got David James.
I forgot about him. Like he was.
Ampadu.
I thought he would have got a big deal.
Melier. They've made a couple of changes there, actually, Leeds, to be fair. So they're obviously prioritising getting promotion, we should expect. So maybe that would edge in Chelsea's favour.
Is Ampadu still on loan from Chelsea? Is he just going to every team in Europe until he gets a permanent move away? Like, does he still play for Chelsea?
I don't know if he's still signed up, but Chelsea got about 400 people on loan, haven't they, still? So.
Fucking hell. I don't even know how you play for Leeds, to be fair.
So ideally, for me, I would obviously love a Leicester or a Coventry at home. I'm sure most of us. But I think it'll be Chelsea or Leeds. But please, just to avoid City or Liverpool. Because I want to go back to Wembley. I know it's a semi. I want to do Box Park. I want to go back. I want to enjoy it. And listen, it's still a big chance because we know how tight the league is at the minute. Newcastle are 10th. Yeah. Obviously, a win at the weekend could potentially move us up to 7th. But we're playing our close rivals there for Europe and Wolves, who have overtaken us. So Chelsea's team now for tonight, very strong. To be fair, 3 of Mudryk, Sterling and Madueke behind Jackson, Fernandes and Caicedo. A couple $100 million in midfield there. Right. Sassy, who was linked to Newcastle. The centre-back and Sanchez in goal.
Yeah, young Gilchrist at left-back and quite a few young ones on the bench as well.
Young ones on the bench, yeah. So that could be it. It could be an entertaining game, this one, between Leeds and Chelsea. We're not yet to do that watch-long. We had to do the cup draw, and we are just moments away. There's now 700 people watching live. Please do subscribe, cheers, and we'll run through some of your comments now before we do start the show. David saying, I want Coventry. Bound to get City or Liverpool away, says Matthew. 100%. Jordy Gaza, shout out to him for being a member. Yeah. The draw is at 7 p.m, so just a few minutes away. Evening, Jackie. Evening, Aaron, who's in here as always. Kevin there from Florida. Yes, boy, says Jimmy, home draw incoming. Would be a pleasant change, wouldn't it?
It would be nice, yeah. Like whoever would guess, like obviously I know we don't want your Cities and Liverpools, but as long as it's a home draw,
I know.
Yeah, just sick of these.
Especially now that it's on the weekend. What else is on that weekend?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's so hard to get tickets now. Obviously, last night 7,500 were down there, but now it's on a weekend. Wouldn't it be nice to just have the day out at St James on a Saturday for the cup? Bound to get moved for TV, like probably get moved to Friday night or something.
It'd be 8 o'clock.
Yeah, especially if we do get, because whoever gets your Coventry's the lowest ranked team left, them and Leicester in the Championship, they're going to get put on TV.
Yeah.
Nice comment there from Sandeep. He knows the score.
I was watching Adam Pearson, but when you guys came on, I switched straight up.
Getting worried that Eddie is a one-trick pony, says Shields. He doesn't even change the formation. I think he's been sussed out. So last night I was getting quite frustrated where I thought we could have changed formation because we wouldn't have much joy using. And I was crying out for some subs. He brought on 3 at once night. I said I thought it worked. Now Barnes, to be fair, missed a couple of good chances, but I think Miggy and Gordon worked well. And Anderson obviously got his goal in the penalty shootout.
I think when Miggy came on, it did change things. It did, like, we just looked like we're going to run away with it. Like, we're pushing for that first goal for like a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, while like banging on the door. The goal eventually came, and I thought we'd have ended up winning that like 2-3-0. Like, I thought, like, this is in the bag now. Like,
I thought we'd just hang on at least.
We just like got that like second wind, like the subs like trying to change the game. I thought,
and the subs for them altered their performance. I thought they changed the two in midfield, and they were the best two players. That Buckley was really good.
I was surprised they changed.
So I think they cocked it up a little bit there. Like Longstaff talking about midfielders, he's been getting loads of grief.
Yes, he has.
Last night, he's been winding me up for weeks. Honestly, he has. Aaron's here with a good question. We're going to touch on this as well on the podcast. May as well just dive into it now, because today we've had links to Julian Nagelsmann. According to German media, Newcastle are eyeing up a move for the Germany coach there. Obviously, he was at Bayern Munich and that. We've had English journalists come out and rebuff those claims, saying that the owners are still backing Eddie Howe. Yeah. What do you make of the old Nagelsmann links, Kate?
I think it's bullshit. Obviously, he's a world-class manager. Like, he's a manager that I would have loved to have had. Like, I think when the takeover happened, he would have been like top of my dream list. Like, not my wish list, my dream list, because I thought he would probably be out of our range for our first managerial appointment. I rate him as a manager. Still young, got a lot of quality, but I do believe that the owners have a long-term interest in Eddie Howe, and I think people that are calling for his head now are very premature. Like, I know things haven't really been going our way, but he's definitely got another 12 to 18 months left in him. He's not going anywhere this season, no matter what happens. Next season, we'll see. But yeah, I reckon he'll still be the manager come the end of next season at the minimum. So I'm not thinking about replacing Eddie Howe just yet. I've got trust in him probably just as much as the owners do. Like, I think we are just going through a bit of it. I think it's just been a bit of a weird season. I think Champions League, midweek games, gone quite far in both cup competitions, a lot of games, a lot of injuries. It's been a freaky season. Freaky wiki. I think signed a third striker and one or two others in the summer. I think we'll be sorted. Like, I think just once we get everybody fit and available, Tonali back available, one or two more signings, like, we'll be fine. I think people are just worrying a little bit too much at the minute.
I think I've said it before. Eddie Howe set unrealistic expectations for me. Like, you overachieved last year. We weren't a Champions League team. We weren't ready for the Champions League.
Not at all.
So this year, 10th isn't looking great at the minute, but beat Wolves. Results may go our way, and we're in 7th. And I think any form of Europe this year, it'll be good. Unless we're in a quarter-final, we're praying that in the next few minutes we get a good draw, and then you're in a semi-final, hopefully. Yeah. I mean, now it's given. This is the thing as well. The draw coming up. Nothing's given, because last night everyone thought we were going to steamroll Blackburn. It took pens. Yeah. So you might get Liverpool, check yourselves, but you could win. It's the cup. You might get Coventry and be like, happy days got Coventry and get put out.
We started bloody Crafton Dummett as my two centre-backs at Old Trafford against Man United.
Where'd you treat it again? Do it again. Dummett's testimony is coming up semi-final.
As soon as that came out, I was like, we're going to get absolutely smashed here. But magic of the cup, baby.
We were there literally in the pub down the road from Old Trafford, because we were obviously went. Seen the team, and I was like, this is a waste time.
Back on the bus, lads.
And it was absolutely one of the best meetings I've ever been on. But
anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Just a roundup of some of the results this week. Coventry 5, Maidstone 0, Bournemouth 0, Leicester 1. It took extra time for Championship Leicester to beat Premier League Bournemouth. Bit of a surprise there in a sense. Blackburn 1, Newcastle 1, 4-3 the tune on pens. And Luton Town 2, Man City 6, Illenholm 5. Yeah, De Bruyne.
Four assists.
And this is why you don't want to get Man City.
I know, literally.
Because it was 3-2 at one point. Luton were making a good comeback second half. And then, my days, man, just everything. Haaland's getting back to his best. There was a bit of grief for him lately about, missing chances and stuff, but he was burying everything he touched last night, wasn't he? Yeah.
I think getting De Bruyne back available and fully fit, back to his best, like, that's the turning point that I think they need, because, like, I know they're probably going to win the league anyway, and they always were. Yeah. Like, earlier in the season, it hasn't been City's best season. I think De Bruyne, Haaland went through a bit of a barren spell. Like, everyone was going, he's a one-season wonder, and De Bruyne was injured for ages, but they were still there. They were still, like, first or second. Like, you can never rule City out. Like, but
Joe's starting now, please, by the way, people.
You knew Haaland's form was going to come back. Like, you knew that was only going to be temporary. And then De Bruyne would come back from injury, and, like, it's just all clicking for them now. Like, they're going to absolutely run away with this league.
Got the Manchester derby on the weekend, so I bet you the Man U fans are absolutely shitting themselves. But here we go, people. We've got David Seaman.
Lots of Seaman
there on your screen, not ours. He's ready to get his balls out, not his, the cup balls. And the draw will be made any minute now. Going to get it underway. I think Newcastle were the first out the hat last time? Last out the hat.
They were,
first out the hat on the
It
last
was
one.
Blackburn and Wrexham, wasn't it? First out the hat, and then Newcastle after that.
So we're on here. I'm just going to get the old posts ready as well. So it'd be nice to get a home draw for a change there. David Seaman, just him doing it. Normally,
normally there's a couple of them in there.
Good job, Arsenal's not in it. Would you had them balls nice and hot? You know, make sure you didn't give them one.
He can handle the ball, Seaman, though.
He's good at the old stopping the ball, Seaman, right?
Big hands.
Nearly 800 people watching. Thanks so much, everyone that's tuned in. Please do drop us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Muchas gracias.
Subscribe, man, will you?
Just get that subscribed on, will you? It's free now. Quarter-final business, eh? First time I've ever done an FA Cup quarter-final draw on YouTube.
When was the last time we got this far? Wasn't that Brucey? Was it lockdown?
Oh, we didn't,
didn't we? Got beat off Man City at home.
We did. It was
fans.
pathetic. I remember
like
that.
5-0. Something was left.
Brucey, yeah.
Brucey always in alright in the cups. Like we've got
Leicester fans in the chat here. Who do you want? Says LCFC. Kieran, you would be nice to be honest, mate. Here's the draw starting. No disrespect. Number 6 is the first ball out. Wolves or Brighton are at home. That would not be an easy tie at all. You wouldn't really want to go there, but it wouldn't be the worst.
It's an away game, but is that 7 or 7? I thought that was a 1.
Coventry! Wolves and Brighton have got Coventry, the lucky bastards. I knew we wouldn't get Coventry. It's too easy.
Maybe
Wolves or Brighton v Coventry.
That's us, isn't it? No, 5.
Number 5, Forest or Man United. I'd take that away. Again, though, wouldn't be the best, but...
Come on, Seaman.
Forest or Man United who play each other tonight. Coming up against number 4. Liverpool or Southampton. Yes! That's Liverpool. That should technically be Man U v Liverpool, but although I do quite fancy Forest. City are still in it on crappy pants. How about Seaman? Give a home draw, Seaman. Number 1. Come on, Seaman.
2.
Oh, Chelsea or Leeds is going to be Newcastle.
Yeah.
Well, you hope so, otherwise it's going to be Man City.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Chelsea or Leeds. Chelsea with another home draw.
Get Man City. Get Man City. It's us. 3.
Oh, Man City. Oh, no, we've got Man City.
At home, at least.
Please give it at
home.
Come on,
Seaman.
How about Seaman? Give it a home draw. Home draw, David. Come on. Home draw.
It's I fucking knew it. I said it would be City away. It's just our luck, man. I knew that was going to happen. I always knew I hated David Seaman. Yeah, shit, Seaman.
I hate Seaman. That's a piss take.
That was inevitable.
I didn't laugh.
That was inevitable. That's what I said before when he asked me prediction. I thought City's screaming at me. Like, it's just our luck. It's so typical. Away as well. Couldn't even get a fucking
Couldn't even get at home.
Oh, that is literally worst case scenario. City away. Worst case scenario.
Oh, well, that's
away.
it then. That's it then. Maybe next
Good
year.
run.
Maybe next year. Season's over.
That beating Blackburn on penalties was totally worth it, wasn't
it? I may as well just save with the Hassan Ghannis. You know, my Man City away. Are you kidding me, man? What the fuck? Oh my God. We could have had Coventry. We could have had Leicester. We could have had Brighton, Wolves, Man United, Southampton, Liverpool. But no. Just give way, man. So that's got to be a fix, that like. This season is ridiculous.
Typical. And it'll be a fucking 8 o'clock game.
This season is beyond a joke. The group PSG, AC Milan, Dortmund in the Champions League. Oh, out of that group of death. See you later. Bye. Not even Europa League.
City, United, Chelsea in the cup.
And that's why, even if it was at home, you think, well, we did them in the Carabao.
Yeah.
I know they won't play as much as the rest of the team. But my days, if it's at home and it would get moved for TV under the lights and all that, you'd think, well, listen, we just played them in the league not so long ago and got beat 3-2 last minute. De Bruyne with that ball, Oscar Ball, that was a game changer. But we still competed. We took the lead in that game. We're 2-1 up. Yeah, so at home, anyone at home, you think, you never know. But away from home, the Etihad, we never do out there. Honestly, man, what the fucking hell is going on with these draws this season?
It does start to feel rigged now. Like, I always think people get carried away when they start saying, "Oh, it's rigged." Like, it's probably not, but it really is starting to feel that way now. Like, every fucking draw we've had so far this season's been a piss take.
Absolute corruption. That's fine. It's fine to be. Good job, we're in a brewery.
Nah, I know. We'll deal with another one.
Oh no, your brewery have. Honestly, a Man City away in a quarter.
But imagine if we beat them.
Well, that's it. And I would
never know. We did say you never know.
I would have that optimism. That's a horrible head because I'm so angry. I would have that. Honestly, if it was at home, I'd think, we can get something. Yeah, But away from the Etihad, Erling Haaland smashing in 5. And,
That'd be good. I can't wait for that De Bruyne on Haaland connection.
It's got to be, honestly, it's corruption. Yeah, I'm saying it now. It is. It has to be. It's went on too long, this man.
Start crafting dumb it.
May as well.
Not to lose at this point.
It's just one game away from Wembley. We're not just getting an RE draw for the first time in any cup this season. All season in every competition, we've had lifting hard draws. Oh my God, man. What a fucking piss take this is.
Well, it is what it is. The magic of the cup.
Well, I suppose if you were going to get the final, you were probably going to play Man City.
As they were played at home to them in the FA Cup quarterfinals in 1920? Yeah, the 1920 season. Got beat 5-0, but no.
Apart from that, was alright.
Apart from that, played really well. That actually really was a fucking terrible game. I think Yedlin was maybe. I think that was the day that I wanted Yedlin to walk out of the door for free because he was fucking shit. And Shaw as well. Like, you remember Shaw went through a proper shit spell under Steve Bruce. Like, Shaw was terrible under Steve Bruce, but I think Yedlin and Shaw, particularly that game, were fucking dire.
Honestly, man, that's outrageous how it actually is Man City away. I think that's a joke. Everyone's saying it's bound to be, and I thought, nah, man, you can't have. Surely you can't have bad look after bad look after bad look. But surprise, surprise!
Yep.
You can when you're Newcastle United. It doesn't let up. It never lets up. Oh man, I'm just posting on social media now the graphic of who we've got. Everyone knows. Everyone's pissed off. Oh my
Absolutely
God.
buzzing.
You want to write some people's comments, Skeg?
Yeah.
Not Trista, because it can't make pop out something. No. Well, just have a look at that.
Let's have a look, guys. What are you saying? Let's go back up to the top when the draw was being made. See if I can see anyone. So it's the same stuff. Rigged, piss take, knew it.
That's insane, man. I honestly can't believe it.
I know.
I shouldn't be surprised after the draws we've had this year, but I just thought for once it wouldn't be like that, man. Isn't it funny how Chelsea get easy home draws and that?
I know.
It beat Leeds tonight, and then who they got fucking... Oh, honestly, man. Piss take this. Absolute joke.
Season a write-off now?
I don't want to be that guy and say that, but I would say that we've got to start winning games at home. Basically, ask us after Saturday. Now, we've got Wolves on Saturday. Win that. That's a big chance to get back in the mix because they overtook us on the weekend. But honestly, I thought, if we got anybody but City tonight, we could get through. Liverpool wouldn't have been ideal, but anybody but City. And I thought, we're on a semi-final now. We're back at Wembley. I'm just so annoyed that it's that close to a semi-final at Wembley that we can't even experience that. Give us City at Wembley, fair enough. You never know. They win there all the time, but at least we could have some sort of hope and a day out to look forward to, and a bit of a buzz around the city again. You see how good it was for the Carabao Cup final last year, and then we can't even get that. One, not get a home draw again, and two, for it to be Man City. With the last ball out the hat, man, it's corruption again, man. I'm telling you that, honestly, they've got to say, Newcastle's David, don't touch the ball that's boiling hot until the end, by the way, because you burn your hands. That's Newcastle. I want to stitch them right off. I'm absolutely raging on that, like.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely raging.
Just typical, expected.
We couldn't even win at fucking Ewood Park. Now we're going to Etihad Stadium.
The more beers are calling me out in the back, mate.
Crack one on. Oh, yeah. Well needed. Well needed. What was everyone saying then? Just typical rigged.
Yeah, it's all the same stuff. Like, everyone's pissed off. Saying it's rigged, typical, shite, out, season over.
Just have to do it the hard way, season mark. Well, that's it, innit? You know what I mean? You can say that we had to go through. Obviously, Man City are always the favourites for every tournament, to be fair. They won the treble last year. So he could have got to the point where he got them in the semis or the final, but to have to do it in the quarters and more so have to do it away from home is a massive bummer. Like,
Yeah.
Aaron says they're trying so hard for Liverpool to win the treble, always get easy draws. Who did they get again? Was it Forest or Man U?
I can't even fucking remember. I'm zoned out now. I ain't got a clue what the draw was.
Got to beat these to get anywhere near Wembley, says Jack. But you don't even get a nice draw, funny enough.
Yeah.
No one else has to beat City to get Wembley. Any other team in the quarterfinals doesn't have to beat them. They'll be at Wembley to win.
Liverpool got Southampton at home.
See, that is a piss take, that, like. That's tonight, man.
No, yeah, it is.
I think we got Forest or Man U away. Which is tasty to get Man U, to be fair.
FA Cup draw. Oh, there we are. So, Wolves or Brighton versus Coventry?
Wolves or Brighton versus Coventry. See, look at that. Coventry could be in a semi-final.
Man United and Liverpool could be interesting, though. So, it's Forest or United against Liverpool or Southampton.
Yes, that should be Man U, Liverpool, shouldn't it, really?
And Chelsea or Leeds versus Leicester.
Nice, easy draw for Chelsea. Who would have thought, eh?
But it's all someone else. So these draws, the first three figures aren't set in stone. Then you got City and United.
The only two teams that are definitely there.
The only guaranteed game is Man City and Newcastle. Everyone else is still up for grabs.
Coventry, man, getting Wolves up. Why can't we have got Coventry? Couldn't have got Coventry, could we? Literally, we said at the start of the show, I said, give us anyone at home, hopefully not City away.
Yeah. That literally is worst case scenario. I think, Coventry at home would have been best. And then, yeah, could rotate any other fixture, but City away is the worst one to have.
Oh my God, man, what's the point? You know what I mean?
What's the point in life?
You know, when you get to that point, you just think, really? Like,
I'm just hoping for some major upsets tonight. Like, imagine if it's Forest versus Southampton.
I'm not saying that'll make us feel even worse that we've got City.
But imagine if we beat City, though. Like, imagine if everything else falls into place. If we beat City, and then it's either it's Leeds versus Leicester, Forest versus Southampton, Wolves versus Coventry. We'll beat any one of them, man. If we can beat City, then. But that is massively.
Been having too many of them Wolves, you know.
I have. I can't do. I'm driving.
Hey, my dears. I just think, the point still stands that if you did beat City, would that make us favourites? Right up there with Liverpool.
I mean, like you say, if there's some upsets, yes.
Right up there with Liverpool.
Yeah, like I say, if there's some upsets, then there would be. But as things stand right now, Man United, Liverpool and Chelsea are all still in competition. So, I wouldn't say that we are favourite. I mean, like I say, depending on other results, like we could be. If we're down to the last four, hopefully there's some upsets and we will be one of the top favourites out of a possible four.
Yeah.
Being the fourth best. Fourth favourites.
Oh, man. Unbelievable stuff. People are saying something strange going on. Literally mad, though, wasn't it? Just being last out the hat in a way. Like, when that came out, I took my glass stuff, so I thought there's no point in emotions because I knew it would be away.
Yeah.
When you were saying, at least Spade home, I was like, at least Spade home. You knew it, didn't you?
Literally, it was.
Honestly, I thought we could have beat them at home.
Could have wrote that. Literally could have wrote that.
We drew with them last year. We nearly beat them and drew with them this year. At home, I would give away a chance, but away from home, it's going to be so... I mean, when was the last time we won at the Etihad? Not many teams won at the Etihad.
You know, have we
ever won there?
I think we did in the Cup in like 2010.
League Cup, Rolando Aarons.
Yes.
They were playing, weren't they? Sammy Amdobi and that.
Because the Etihad's still a relatively new stadium in Premier League terms, so it's only been open for 15 years, if that. Probably not even that.
Aye.
Then, literally one win in all of that time in the Cup for Rolando Aarons. Fucking hell. Great stuff.
Mad times. Anyone give a hope that night, to be fair, like.
Exactly. Like I say, anything can happen. It's the Cup. Anything can happen.
We're gonna need the magic of the Cup.
Maybe I'm gonna need the magic of the Cup.
I'll come back to this, right? Where sometimes you get a draw, like Blackburn last night, and everyone's buzzing. Everyone's like, piece of piss, they've got Blackburn, championship team, we'll steamroll these, it's gonna be 4 or 5.
Imagine if we got Wrexham.
Aye.
I mean, fucking mid.
And then you end up playing Blackburn, and let's be honest, we were lucky to get through.
Literally.
Blackburn with the better side. We nearly got knocked out. We took penalties. So maybe on the other hand, if you get a Man City, you get one of the top teams, that might, and I'm trying to spin a positive on this now, that might spur the players on, give them an extra edge, give them motivation because we will be the underdog, to go into that game and prove the doubters wrong.
Yeah. Like I've probably said it a number of times, and I probably sound like I'm on repeat, but the magic of the cup is real. But I think it's because there's so many random things that could happen. Like Blythe Spawns could have got Man City or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's why they call it the magic of the cup. Because at the end of the day, it's a sport and competition, and at the end of the day, anybody can beat anybody. Like just because you're the favourites, that doesn't mean shit. Like if you turn up on the day, if you want it more than the other team, then 9 times out of 10 you'll win. So yeah, I know obviously we are the massive underdogs going up against Man City, but there's no reason to say that it's written off. Like we can't not beat them. No. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just trying to spin a positive. Like
me as well. Even though I hear everyone's depression in the chat as well. You know what I mean? Where they're saying it, Bob's saying the season's cursed. I mean, it does feel that way.
It does feel cursed. Yeah, like. It's the thing of is it like I know like scripts can be written, like money can be passed, and but is it because we're Newcastle? Is it because everyone fucking hates us? Like they've already tried to pass several Premier League rules to prevent us from doing things. Like it does seem like nobody wants Newcastle to succeed, and that's not even just me being a biased Newcastle fan and being a little bit aggrieved. It's a fucking fact. Everybody hates Newcastle.
Yeah, it's there.
I think everybody always did. It always seems like even back when we were shit, commentators and pundits and stuff always seem to have a negative thing to say about Newcastle. Nobody's ever gave Newcastle the benefit of the doubt. But now we've got all this money and that we're on the world map now, people fucking can't stand it.
Nah,
people
hate
it.
Yeah, because most of these people that are doing it or down south, or Man United fans, or Arsenal fans, or whatever, and they don't want another competition. Spurs fans, and
that's why they try to fuck after that European Super League.
Exactly. I mean, listen, you talk about pundits. Jesus, Danny Murphy.
Murphy. I hate him.
Murphy.
I really fucking hate him.
Everything
everything that he said, not even necessarily if it was a negative towards Newcastle. It's just why are you talking? Why are you saying these things?
So you realise you're live to millions of people, Danny.
Yeah, not even he was extremely negative towards Newcastle, which isn't he was before the takeover. Danny Murphy's been one of them people who's been anti-Newcastle for years.
Baldy prick.
Yeah, but even when he was just talking sort of general football terms, I'm what are you tagging him? Who pays this guy?
Why has he got a job? He was a good footballer, not great.
He's
a boring man.
He's really,
no personality
really
whatsoever.
Might as well go fucking Jermaine Jones or Michael Owen tag instead.
I'd rather. That's saying something.
At
least Michael Owen can
in the bottom of the barrel. You have a bit of a laugh with Michael Owen.
Laugh at Owen because it's that was funny because it was so ridiculous.
So fucking
Murphy,
shit,
I'm just trying to stay awake.
I know, I'm just fuming.
Putting us into a fucking coma, that bloke.
Get Michael Owen or any Luke or something on. Oh, there, speak of the devil. There he is. Just spouting absolute bollocks.
Who's that? Joey McAnuff?
Yeah.
Jesus, get
him
him
on.
on.
Great, isn't he? I remember him coming there. Was he at Reading?
Cardiff and all.
Cardiff? Yeah, I thought he was a decent player when he was a young one.
Hustlers saying, well, if we do beat Man City, then we'll get Liverpool away. You'll get anyone away because it'll be at Wembley. Semi-final.
Yeah. Still neutral ground, though. You still would have liked the home field advantage.
Well, you're right, though. I mean, no doubt it'll be Liverpool in the semis. Hey, man. But here we go. Thanks for this stats here.
That's a point, though. The FA Cup is now over for St James's Park. We'll never get a home tie this season.
No. Or next season, probably. We'll be back here next year doing the same shit.
Complaining that we drew City away in the fucking third round.
Well, third round draw. Oh, Etihad City.
Oh, is that City, is it? Oh, never.
Right then.
At least I would have won on it.
It's always going to be like Emirates and Etihad, where we just never win. Yeah. At least Old Trafford now, we're starting to look better.
Bad record, man. It is shocking.
Well, we mentioned it before. Obviously, you mentioned Etihad being a new stadium. These have dropped this in the chat for us here. Newcastle have never won in 18 Premier League games at the Etihad. 2 draws. 16 losses. But obviously, we did mention the cup win. Carabao League Cup. That would have been called
that's the Premier League, yeah.
Last away league win against City coming at Main Road in September 2000. I was 7 years old.
Even back then, they were shit.
And they were shit, eh? I
can only assume that sort of during that sort of 2000s period that Man City were in the Championship, because they were shit back then. We should have been beating them. If they were in the Premier League, we should have been beating them back then. It shows that when Bobby Robson and that.
Didn't do well at City even before the takeover, by the sounds of it.
Literally. Fucking hell. That's a mad record.
Lots of people saying how we're cursed. Is it Europa for winning the FA Cup? It is indeed, Mark, I believe.
Yeah, it was back in the day. I don't know if it still is.
There's loads of permutations this year, though, for European qualification, because obviously we're saying that fifth make it Champions League, and obviously now that Liverpool won the Carabao Cup, now that that's going to go to the Conference League, that could go to 7th or 8th place. So it's just
it's confusing.
It's like fucking mastermind.
Even come last day of the season, if we finished like 7th or 8th, I wouldn't have.
You didn't know where that started in the fight, so you just gotta stay at home.
I wouldn't have a clue if we've made it in Europe or not.
Nah, we'll need the fucking announcer at the ground to let me know. Full results came in.
I don't know if. Again, I don't know if I'm talking shit, but back in the day, if you got to the FA Cup, did that not mean you? I think it meant if you got into. I'm trying to think when Portsmouth or Wigan when Wigan won it. So if say Man City were in the top 4 and got Champions League anyway, just being in the semi-final, the final meant that you got Europa League. You didn't have to win it.
The final did I? So because if they were already qualified for it, then you would take another spot.
Because Wigan got relegated. Wigan were in the Championship playing in the Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League qualifying rounds. You have to start off in them Mario qualifying rounds in the middle of bloody Estonia. But I can't tell you at this point.
Tsunami Poland there.
Tsunami Poland, shout out Lucas and the Tsunami Poland. I'm looking to go over to Poland myself this summer for the first time ever.
Lovely.
No,
I haven't been.
No, that was Budapest, wasn't it?
Yes, I Budapest there.
I have never been to Poland, so I'm looking
forward to go to. I think was it Krakow? I think it was Warsaw or something when we did my Euro trip, but we scratched it off because we didn't too much.
Because we were gone everywhere else.
Yeah. Everyone in Europe for a day, see now.
Literally. That's a good one from Big Wim. Nice analogy there, I like it, and it's very true.
Athletes.
Just getting anybody at home at this point.
No.
I think someone was asking there.
Even when we knew that they were the last 2 hours, I was thinking at least a silver line and just be at home. And now we've got City. We can beat a City at home. At least that's an okay spin on it, but never was going to happen. Knew the fucking City were going to be the first ones drawn there.
Aye. Got to go for an attack, says Mark, or it's over. That's risky, though. Again, toe-to-toe for City could get destroyed.
I mean, you could, but I don't hate it. I think that's a good thing about Eddie Howe. When he first came in, because we'd spent even under the Rafa days, we were very defensive. For however many years, 5 years between Rafa, maybe even 6, between Rafa and Steve Bruce, were very, very defensive. But as soon as Eddie Howe came in, he was just fuck it, bang, just going for it. Because I think we had a couple of easy-ish games. I know Brentford at home was his first game. Then we started to play your Cities and your Liverpools, and you thought, we'll get with 5 at the back. Why is he used to that? But he didn't, and he just went for it. And I thought, this is mint. So I've always respected for Eddie Howe for just going for it. He doesn't change for other people's teams. He doesn't think, we've got Man City, so we'll just play fucking 9 at the back. He's always just gone for it, and I respect that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'd rather we went for it and got battered than just sitting. I'd rather we went for it and got beat 6-0 than just sit with fucking 10 men behind the ball and get beat 1-0.
Well, to be fair, I was there in the Premier League early in the season. It was one of the first games, I believe. It was September, maybe August at the Etihad in the Premier League. And it was a woeful performance and we did do that. We just sat back and nobody gave a sniff going forward. And I never remember trying to celebrate. No. I can't even remember having a shot on target. And I think we got beat 2-0 in the end. And it was just really, really crap with no excitement,
it is boring sitting back. That's why Jose Mourinho's funny because he always used to do that, didn't he? He was used to be
for him though.
He used to be defensive, but he would win games and he's always regarded as one of the best managers in the world.
Then mad records were when he into Milan and he knocked out that prime Barcelona team with Messi and
that one shot on target,
one shot on target, 12% possession. He's just gone and given it the fucking fist bumps on the touch sign. If he can pull off something like that, then brilliant. You know what I mean? Because he knew if we beat them, they were going to win it, and they did it. So
the amount of times he won the league with Chelsea, but they were just boring as fuck. But you know what I mean? As long as you're winning, it's alright. But when it's Steve Bruce, when you win 1-0, it's a little bit different.
What else have we got? And people will round off this podcast next 5-10 minutes or so. Get your final few questions in. Neil's got a good point here in the sense of saying that Eddie looked so much older at yesterday's post-match interview. I thought you could see how stressed he looked in extra time. Honestly, I've never seen him looking that he's normally quite a cool character.
Yeah.
But I think last night, especially in the intervals when he had players in a circle, he was very animated for Eddie Howe. You know what I mean? He was very animated, he looked aggressive.
He was getting a bit like titchy, and
you can see how much it meant to him.
Yeah.
And then now he's probably thinking, I that last night for this. You know what I mean? Well, waste of time. See myself the fixture. We could just be playing Palace that weekend. We're meant to be playing Palace in the league. Now that's been postponed for a trip to the Etihad.
Great.
The football gods have decided they want Eddie out after these cup draws this season. Draws fixed them. Giving you the beers then, man. Out you bruise on it. Yeah. Let's get some gluten-free beers in here. Go for 7th in the league now, says Graham. So if you were Eddie Howe, then would you, because we definitely prioritised the cup last night, we mentioned them playing a strong team, would you now say, I'll tell you what, we need to really make sure we beat Wolves on the weekend first and foremost, and going forward, the league is a priority over the FA Cup now with that draw? Or do you still think all out in the cup and try and get the Wembleys and get European football that way?
Yeah, I think with the Carabao Cup final is the exception. I think Eddie Howe's always just gone like one game at a time.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to do it. Like, I think if I was a manager, I would do that, or tell me players, don't fucking think about it.
No.
Like, if we've got a cup final in 4 weeks' time, if anybody mentions it, I'll fucking penalise you. I'll fine you for even talking about the cup final.
The rules on the door.
Yeah.
Any mention of
concentrate on the next game. Yeah, I don't want to, I know it's like in the back of our minds, but keep it in the back of your minds. Just concentrate on the next opposition.
Because you saw last year in the Carabao Cup how much of a distraction that was.
Because he said that it wouldn't happen, but it fucking did.
He admitted it, though.
He admitted it afterwards.
He said,
it
it's
did.
been fucking more like training ground players.
I think that's maybe a good thing now, because that did happen. That I think you'll learn from that, because he is still a young manager. You think like he's been manager for like 10 years. So
got a lot to learn. I think he's learned a lot this year.
He has learned a lot. And I think I've always said, like, I think there's good that comes from like bad things. Like, if you're like a boxer, if you're like 30-0, you know, yeah, confident, I'm the best in the world, blah blah blah. If you get knocked out once, you think, oh shit, like I need to like work things out. Like, maybe I'm not as good as I thought, so I'll maybe try and work on this and work on that. Like, I think there's always good things comes from like losses and negativity, because I think it changes your perspective.
Definitely.
So I think losing the Carabao Cup final, I think in hindsight might be a good thing. Getting knocked out of the Champions League could be a good thing. There's always lessons learned, and I say Eddie Howe was 43. Like, for managers, that's still young. Feels like he's been around forever, because he got Bournemouth from League 2 to the Premier League and had a couple of years out, and now he's here. He's been in Newcastle for 2 years, so he's very experienced for a young manager. But I think he's never experienced this before. He's gone through promotions: League 2, League 1, Championship, Premier League. Kept Bournemouth in the Premier League for a few years. That was achievements in itself. But he's never been a Champions League caliber manager. He's never been like a top 6 Premier League type manager. So I think it's all a learning curve for him. So I think just keep focusing on the next game. Like, don't worry about what's coming in the future. Just worry about the next game. Try and get Newcastle 3 points against Wolves.
Big game.
That's the big objective. 3 points against Wolves, then whatever's after that. Crack on with that the week after. As soon as the full-time whistle goes against Wolves, all right, what's next? But until then, don't even fucking think about what's next. Like, there's no point worrying about what's next, because your mind can lose focus on that, and we've seen that last year.
Yeah, we definitely did, Wolves is a huge game on Saturday. Michael here has just put it on the screen for you, put it in the chat. Literally the draws we've had this season: Champions League, PSG, Dortmund, Milan, group of death.
Yeah.
League Cup,
feels City. Like Sunderland was a bit scripted in our like one.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
The only good script we've had.
It was a good one, but I think because everyone wanted to see it, like, it does feel like that was like kind of picked out.
Long time, hasn't it? Yeah. Straight for TV, Saturday lunchtime. And to be fair, the Champions League very scripted as well. Newcastle been out the competition for 2 decades, and they get the group of death. And then Mane get knocked out, and they're coming up against Copenhagen and that. Arsenal, so easy route. But us, and to be fair, I wasn't against the group of death. I was buzzing for it, because I knew I was going to go to these games.
Yeah,
I wanted to see the big teams, the big players. I wanted to see Mbappe's and go to San Siro. I was, and we're half an hour away from getting through.
At the end of the day, like, when you were never going to win it.
No.
And I've always said this about like the FA Cup and stuff. I think if you go out early, at least there's silver linings. You can like learn things. Like I said, you can learn things in defeat. But I think if you go up against your PSGs, Dortmunds, it was Milan's, if we got whacked 6-0 every single game, then all right, it's an experience, it's a learning curve, but we actually didn't. We actually went toe-to-toe for them and nearly got through.
Yeah.
I thought I know we ended up finished bottom of the league because we went for it instead of being conservative and trying to get Europa League, which I respect, to be fair. I think Eddie Howe done the right thing in my personal opinion. But at least we were there. We were cracking on. We were knocking on the door of the knockout stage of the Champions League. And for a team that only got took over 2 years ago from Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce.
Exactly.
And being in the Championship, 6-7 seasons ago, to almost getting there, almost finishing second. Whether we finished fourth or third, it doesn't fucking matter. We nearly finished second. We still beat PSG 4-1 at home. We nearly beat them away. Like, it's all learning curves and it's all new experiences for these players. And whenever we come to get the knockout stages of the Champions League in 2, 3, 4 years' time, whatever it is, like at least like some players will still be there and it'll be something that they've learned from. And I think it's all positive experiences.
It is. I think we mentioned it before. Eddie Howe's definitely going to learn a lot from this year. I was speaking to even Robbie before on the weekend when I was at Arsenal away, and we're both saying, like you see with Arteta, his lack of experience in the Champions League this year, getting beat off Porto, he didn't know what to do. And it's Arteta's first time managing the Champions League. It's Eddie Howe's first time. They're both young managers. They've got a lot to learn. In the League Cup, there we've seen we did play Man City at home, beat them. Man U away, Chelsea away. Obviously fucked it in the last minute. Trippier mistake. FA Cup, Sunderland away, Fulham away, Blackburn away, Man City away. The only home draw we've had all season is Man City at home. Mental that, like. I wonder if anyone's ever got to Wembley, because remember, semi-finals at Wembley, with not playing a home game in the FA Cup.
That is crazy,
I doubt it, because if you look at like Man U's run-ins, or in particular Liverpool, always at home. So in the last round, they had Norwich at home. I don't know how they had it before that, but they had Norwich. Tonight they've got Southampton. The next game they've got. Who did you say it was?
Who? Liverpool.
Leicester. Something like that.
Leicester, right.
So the teams like Liverpool, teams like that, getting easy home draws over and over again.
Away to Forest United.
Well, it's Chelsea with easy home draws as well, isn't it? Yeah. Chelsea United against Leeds. If they beat this, Chelsea beat home to Leicester. And then they'll be back at Wembley for a semi. Fucking piss take.
Back-to-back championship teams.
Back-to-back championship teams at home? Let's round off them, people. 2 minutes to go for the hour-long podcast/live cup draw. Dad is asking about Nagelsmann. You can rewind. We talked about Nagelsmann a bit earlier. I might bring out a video tomorrow on the Nagelsmann links, to be fair. What else we got? The contrast of poor Matty's face from John Sonnen to here. Oh, well, I nearly walked out, to be fair. Like, I was thinking I had to be out to finish, otherwise I would have walked it. Honestly. Oh, God. Have we ever beat Man City away? Says Dennis. No is the answer to that. Not at the Etihad anyways. We haven't won there since 2000.
Yeah.
At Main Road as well. Someone mentioned. Main Road. Still think I'd prefer City away to Liverpool away, since Klopp would end up making a goal in the last minute against us. He's Jamie Alt, who's a member. Thanks very much for that. Well, to be fair, our record at Anfield's just as bad, isn't it? So, as opposed with City, they're in the Champions League. Liverpool are in the Europa League. City will be going for the title. We'll be going for the Champions League. But last year, guess what? They won all three. Trebles. Yeah.
I really hope that doesn't happen again.
Oh man, it'd just be a shame for football if it happened again.
It would, and like I hate when people just win like the same shit over and over again. Like when Celtic was it? What's he fucking called? Postecoglou won like triple trebles. Like no one in Scotland won anything for 3 years because Celtic just swept up. Like how fucking boring is that, man?
Aye.
Like I like when there's like different, like when like Leicester won the Premier League. Like that's why it was so good. It's not just because it was Leicester, because it was someone fucking different. Just someone such an underdog. Like just like even if it was like Tottenham, at least Tottenham's never won the Premier League. Like I'd rather fucking Tottenham win the league than just City doing it fucking 19 years in a row.
It's just painful, isn't it? Pasty's in the chat. Shout out Pasty. Was at Blackburn last night. How many points he's getting the lead between now and the season? Stay tuned next week, Pasty. I think because next week what I was thinking about doing, and someone mentioned it in the chat earlier, was they talked about how I think we've only got 2 of the top 10 to play in the rest of the season, and obviously a lot of teams in that top 10 play each other, which obviously will help NUFC hopefully move at the table a little bit. So maybe we'll do a little look towards that on Tuesday night next week. Tuesday is live at 7 every week. Remember, people, apart from obviously this week since we played last night. Last couple of questions in before we sign out. Call saying, what do you think the score will be at City? I'm going to go optimistic just for the crack and say it's 0-0 and we'll win in extra time 1-0. Don't know why I'm saying that. If I'm being honest and I'm being realistic and put the paints down, I think we'll get beat 3-1. And you cannot be happy. It's man.
Yeah, I think positive, optimistic, a narrow win, like a 2-1, 1-0, something like that. To be fair, there's always goals against Man City, though. Like, what was the score? Like, was it
probably 3-2 a month ago?
3-2, and then last season was 3-3 at home. So there's always goals, but yeah, I think optimistically we can narrowly win by 1 goal, whatever the score is, 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, whatever it is. But realistically, the way things are right now, it's a fucking hammering. It's a 3-1 to 4-0.
It is, isn't it? Especially what you see now. Last night, really 6-2 over Luton.
Yeah.
Us 1-1 against Blackburn. A lot can change, though. I think it's March 16th that weekend anyway, so it could be the Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the game against Man City in the Cup. No doubt it will be moved from that Saturday 3 o'clock to probably Saturday lunchtime, Saturday night time. Some of the art will most likely be broadcasted. Although maybe not. You know, you've got Coventry and Leicester still in the Cup. You've got potentially Man U, Liverpool. But there's that many shared programs now, isn't there?
I think maybe it's because it's Man City.
Actually, it will be because there was even a game on iPlayer last night. So there's games on ITV.
And there's less games.
So you'd imagine it would be moved probably Saturday at 5:30. So with that, like that. The worst possible time for fans to travel. That's when it'll be. Absolutely.
8 o'clock on a fucking Monday night or something.
Yeah, that'll do, Peel. Thank you for joining us for this live podcast / FA Cup quarter-final draw, where obviously Newcastle United have been drawn, first of all, away. We knew that was going to happen. And second of all, to Manchester City. So there's that. Remember, TMC podcast back live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. every week, unless obviously there's a fixture or something else going on. Thanks again, Anarchy Brewery, for hosting us this evening. Remember to pop down this weekend if you're free. It's on the bottom of your screen there now. Saturday the 2nd and the 3rd of March, the Sunday, they have got a live music food event on. So there's a few different food trucks there. Our good friends Meat Stack will be there. Best burgers in tune.
Yeah.
A few other vendors. Like I said, live music, belter beers, everything going on there. Saturday till late. I think it's Sunday till 4. Get yourselves down here at Anarchy Brewery. Whack it in your maps and find out where it is. Benton area of Newcastle. Cheers, Keg.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me. Remember, people, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give this one a thumbs up and enjoy yourself.